It's opening day. Let's do this. All right, hey, first of all, a couple things. Whitson's, how about that breakfast? Let them hear it. Let them hear it. Thank you so much. The check department for setting all this up. Let them hear it. Thank you to the custodial and the maintenance crew for making this place look so beautiful. Huh? Let's hear it. All right, listen. Hey, everybody, this is welcoming. Welcome, everybody. Listen, where's my first-year teachers at? Make some noise. First-year teachers. How about my 5-year? Where are my 5 years at? There's no 5 years? No 5-year teachers? Where's my 10 years? Where's JJ? Hey, where's my 10 years? Wow, you guys, get some coffee. Hey, Whitson, bring in some coffee, man. What's going on? Where's my 20 years? Where's 15 and 20? Is there a 25 plus? Where's my tie-dye shirts? Tie-dye shirts. Get out of here. All right. Now that we're loose and ready to go, let's have some fun, okay? Welcome to the 2024-25 school year. We have a wonderful program for everybody. So without further ado, I'd like to bring up the first one. She is a board member, Board of Education member. She's also the president of the Yorkville Educational Foundation, Leslie Smoger. Let's hear it. Let's go.
Thanks, Brent. Yes, I'm wearing shoes this year. If you don't know the story, ask your neighbor. So good morning, Yorkville. Very exciting to start off a new school year. As the president of the Yorkville Educational Foundation, I'm honored to stand before you today. It's an opportunity to reflect on the remarkable strides we've made together and set our sights on goals and the challenges that lie ahead. Last year, we talked about starting over. This year, it's time to reimagine the future. Show of hands, who has ever received a grant from the YEF? That's not enough hands. Last year, through the collective efforts of our community, we were able to contribute over $24,000 in grants. Absolutely. And those grants directly benefited our students and enhanced their educational experience. For the very first time last year in Yorkville, we were able to give each and every building in our district a grant. So everybody benefited, and that was amazing. Your dedication and commitment to excellence made these grants impactful, and we're deeply grateful for your partnership. And stay tuned for the dates to be released for the new grant window for this year. One of our proudest accomplishments this year was partnering with Kiwanis Club here in Yorkville to establish SAT prep assistance, which is really important for our high school students. And this will ensure that our students have the tools and support they need to achieve their highest potential. They gave us $5,000 to put towards this SAT prep and anything that goes along with it, so it's time to think about what that looks like for our students and get creative. By pooling our resources and expertise, we'll be able to open doors to brighter futures for our students. I'm particularly thrilled that we were able to partner with the Grant family to establish a scholarship that is dedicated to supporting a Yorkville student who aspires to pursue a career in education. It's a fitting tribute to the incredible educators who've paved the way for so many, and it's our way of investing in the next generation of teachers who will continue in their legacy. AleFest. Who's been to AleFest? It is one of our biggest annual events where we brew up a brighter future for our Yorkville students. Last year, we were able to raise over $9,000 for our students here in Yorkville. Save the date, October 5th. Who's gonna unseat the Super Smash Brothers this year? Whoa, those are fighting words. Fostering our future. One of my personal favorite events, it continues to grow. Last year, we were able to recognize over 180 outstanding staff members, and that's phenomenal. You guys all go above and beyond for our school community. So we're doing something a little different this year. It's all gonna look mostly the same, but what we're gonna do is the window is gonna be open all year. We're gonna open it in the fall, and it'll stay open through winter, and that way it gives you an opportunity to nominate fellow staff members and our community to nominate staff as well. We also, at the YEF, embrace the opportunity to inspire curiosity and wonder by purchasing solar eclipse glasses for the whole district. That was not just about witnessing a rare astronomical event, but about fostering a sense of shared awe and discovery in our students. And what I thought was super cool was for the very first time, at least that I'm aware of, every student in the entire district had the opportunity to be doing the exact same thing at the exact same time, including our staff, and just, it was a really great time. We also at the YEF provide essential needs. So last year we gave over $2,000 in essential needs support, which includes summer school tuition and YES cards for those who need it. And this ensures that every child has the opportunity to succeed regardless of their circumstances. And we're very proud that we can offer this lifeline to those who need it. And finally, our Little Home Libraries for early childhood students, it's been a resounding success. We're placing books directly into the hands of our littlest learners, and we're planting the seeds of literacy and a lifelong love of reading. So we all know that literacy is crucial, and these libraries are an investment that the foundation is able to make in our students' academic journeys. As we embark on this new school year, I want to thank each and every one of you for your unwavering commitment to our students, our schools, and our community. The work we do together is transformative, and I'm confident that this year we will bring even more opportunities to make a difference in the lives of the children we serve. So let's continue to dream big, work hard, and support one another in our shared mission. So here's to another successful and inspiring year in the Yorkville School District. Thank you. Next up, Dr. Boffman.
Give it up for Miss Smoger and her shoes. I did also note, being in HR, those of you who cheered very loud for the Ale Fest, so I've got my eye on you today. Each year we get an opportunity to celebrate the milestones of years of service for our district, and I'm happy to be able to do that today. But I also want you to know that last week we welcomed over 60 new certified staff members, and we've hired over 100 new staff members. So if you are new to Yorkville this year, could you please stand up and be recognized? Dr. Zediker, you did stand up, and if you didn't, I was going to call you out, so just to be clear. So we have some individuals to celebrate that have served 10 years here in Yorkville. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call your name, and I'd like you to come up front. We're going to be greeted by our board members, and then we're going to have you stick around and take a picture. We also have a certificate for you, so when you leave today, I believe it's in the back, right, Kathy? So when you leave today, please pick that up from the back. So 10 years of service. Arlene Anderson, Jean Benson, Jennifer Blair, Megan Bloomberg, Lisa Bruick, Maureen Courtwright, Nicholas DeCallaway, Jennifer Edwards, Belinda Griffiths, Kelly Harris, Jenna Hurt, Nicole Johnson, Alyssa Cook, Megan Ledbetter, Nika Morton, Celia Phelan, Leon Pierce, Lindsay Sotomayor, Megan Stebbin, Kelly Wagner, Don Johnson, and Sarah Wasoriak. 10 years of service. Give them a round of applause. We have some Foxes that have been with us for 15 years. Yolanda Barraza, Christy Broom, Brittany Crosby, Doug DeWitt, Joe Fornell, Andrea Franklin, James Higgins, Julie Heimers, Andrew Johnson, Ken Jocelyn, Laura Kenya, Gladys Lazaret, Don Luce, Patricia Leptek, Michael Majeski, Megan Martinez, Kelly Mercurio, Heather Maragliata, Alicia Muth, Kate Peterson, Megan Petro, Matthew Rice, Jennifer Ripsch, Margaret Wood Davis, Allison Strandell, Howard Warren, and Gail Weber. Congratulations. Congratulations, 15 years of service. "20 years of service as Foxes." This is getting serious. Kathy Anderson, Marianne Beavers, Scott Beavers. Fun fact about Scott, Scott was tailgating here today to get the best seat in the house. Great job, Scott. Melissa Condon, Lauren Foster, Melinda Graham, Kristen Kamen, Lindsay Moss, Jennifer Munch, Reggie Olson, Bethany Penn, Valerie Rizzio, Elizabeth Smith, Catherine Tedisco, and Catherine Worley. And we have one member here who is celebrating 25 years of service, Jennifer Meyer. And congratulations to all our milestone employees for their years of service. Let's give them one big round of applause. Great job. And it is my pleasure to introduce our Vice President of the School Board, Mr. Jason Demas.
Thanks, Nick. Good morning. Congratulations to all the recipients. Those are some really big numbers and some great accomplishments, so congratulations to all the years of service here. So it is my great pleasure to welcome our new staff into the district. Congratulations for being here, and thank you for being here. And welcome back to our current staff. We've got a really exciting year for us. I hope you all had a refreshing and enjoyable summer break filled with relaxation, adventures, quality time with loved ones, and really enjoyed your summer because we're about to get to work. Okay? And it's exciting. And thank you for letting me share in this day this morning with you. This is my first time seeing how this operation works, and it is phenomenal. So much excitement, so many smiles, so many reconnecting and friendships being built. So as we stand at the threshold of another exciting academic year, I want to take a moment to express the board's deepest gratitude for your unwavering dedication and your hard work to this district and to our students and to our community. Your passion in education makes our district a place where young minds will thrive and their dreams will take flight. This year we are embarking on a journey, one that promises to be filled with opportunities, challenges, and achievements. Our theme this year is the 20-mile march. This journey will embody what we aim to achieve this school year as a district and as a community. Each day, you inspire our students to reach beyond their potential. You ignite their curiosity and foster a love for learning. Your enthusiasm and dedication are the sparks that light up their minds and their hearts. In the ever-evolving landscape of education, innovation is key. We encourage you to embrace the new teaching methods, integrate technology, and find creative solutions to meet the diverse needs of our students. Together, we can build an educational environment that is dynamic, engaging, and relevant. The impact that you have on our students' lives is immeasurable. You shape their futures, instill values, and guide them towards becoming responsible, compassionate individuals. Your influence extends well beyond the classroom, leaving a lasting imprint on their lives forever. As a board, we want to continue to support your professional growth. We are committed to providing you the resources, the training, and support you will need to excel in your roles and continue to make that difference. As the journey begins on this new academic year, let us remember the power of collaboration and teamwork. Together, we can overcome any obstacle. We can celebrate every success and create an environment where every student feels valued, supported, and empowered to succeed. I am confident with your passion, your dedication, and expertise, we will make this school year one of the best. So let's work together to inspire, innovate, and impact the lives of our students, our community, and each other. So I stand there humbly and say thank you for all you do. It is a powerful, powerful sight that I'm standing up looking at. I was very nervous to stand up here today because you guys have graded me my whole life. And I run into burning buildings for a living, and this terrifies me right now. So thank you for what you do. And please be nice on the grades. Hopefully it's a curve. So at this time, I'd like to take the opportunity to be able to introduce our new superintendent. It's my honor and privilege to introduce Superintendent Dr. Matt Zediker. Dr. Zediker comes to us with a wealth of experience, a deep commitment to educational excellence, and a proven track record of leadership. His passion for student success and dedication to fostering a positive and inclusive learning environment align perfectly with our values. We are thrilled to welcome Dr. Zediker to our district and look forward to the fresh perspective and innovative ideas he will bring. His vision and leadership will undoubtedly inspire all of us as we continue to strive for the excellence in education. We're excited to have you, sir, and we look forward to an amazing year. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to Dr. Matt Zediker. Thank you.
Make sure I'm on. Thank you. Okay, good morning. I think we have one more thing we need to do before we get kicked off. And I'm going to turn it over to Joe because I think the band wants to spend a little time with us this morning.
Good morning, District
District 115 teachers and staff, and welcome to Yorkville High School. At this time, we bring in the pride of Yorkville High School, directed by Bobby Friesen and Justin Hannekamp, assisted by Kelly Prokopis and Brandon Rogers, percussion by Matt Rice and Angela Macropolis, color guard by Agatha Willis and Sydney Turan, and drum majors Carissa Martin, Avery Stilmuckus, and Mason Madave. Ladies and gentlemen, we proudly present the pride of the Foxes, your very own Yorkville High School Marching Foxes. Everyone on your feet for Yorkville loyalty. The Marching Foxes would like to pay tribute to those who serve our great country, both at home and abroad. Join us in honoring our heroes with the playing of the patriotic medley, Salute to America. Thank you for your continued support of the Yorkville High School Marching Foxes. This season, the Marching Foxes will be performing Shine Bright at all home football games, with competitions at Victor J. Andrew, Naperville Central, Downers Grove South, and Sandwich High Schools. At the University of Illinois, Illini marching band competitions, and of course, at the annual Yorkville Music Boosters Red Paw Music Festival. Have a great school year, and we hope to see you again throughout the marching band season.
Thanks, Joe. How about one more time for the band? That was fantastic. That was fantastic. As the kids were exiting the doorway, I guess I probably should have rethought the order of this, because I don't know how somebody follows that. This is not going to be near as impressive as that was. Well, good morning. It is an absolute honor to be in front of you today. This is something that I've envisioned and visualized since last spring, and to be in the room with all the professionals in here and everybody who's dedicated to our kids and our community is, it's a little overwhelming to be in the presence. And so, very humbling experience to be with you. Before I go any further, I do want to recognize and thank our board members for being here: Mike Knoll, Jason Demas, Sean Schumacher, Waylon Middendorf, and Leslie Smoger. Can we have a round of applause for the support that the board has given us? So thank you. Thank you, thank you. And I know it's said, but it took a great number of folks to put all of this together. So between our facilities and tech, there was a ton of teamwork that got this together. So a round of applause for everybody who was able to connect this. As I thought about last February, and ever since last February, I had a lot of people, kind of come up and talk to me about the pressure of a new job, the superintendency, a new community, taking a leap in the career. And they just asked kind of what that pressure felt like and if I was feeling it. And I think my wife said it last night: "Are you feeling pressure about tomorrow?" And every time somebody has said that to me, my answer has been yes. I feel it. I feel that pressure. But to me, pressure is a privilege. I'll say that one more time. Pressure is a privilege because it means the work that we do matters. It matters to ourselves. It matters to others. And in our case, it matters to our kids, our parents, and our community. And when I say pressure, it's in the greatest sense. It's the feeling of butterflies that you get, that excitement that, an athlete who about to take the field or a musician who is about to start a set, those butterflies, that feeling's about preparation. It's about hard work. It's about passion. And you feel it. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to go through education not feeling something about what we do and being a part of something larger than ourselves. And so that pressure being a privilege is a fantastic feeling. And I feel it, and I hope you all feel it, because I know you've all put the work in. I know you're dedicated. I know you're passionate. And to feel that, I mean, if you could have the mic at my heart right now, you could hear it. It's going 1,000 miles an hour, and it's exciting. And so, yes, I feel it. And I hope you do too, and I'm excited to be with you on that. So, as I get into my remarks today, I did have an opportunity to meet many of you this spring as I transitioned and onboarded, and what a fantastic welcome that was. But I didn't have a chance to meet all of you. And so I did want to take just a brief moment to introduce myself and who I am, so you kind of know who the guy is talking on the stage who's going to be working with you. And I got some really good advice. I was at a conference just a couple of weeks ago and had an opportunity to talk to a national speaker, and we were talking about today, and he said, "Don't forget to make fun of yourself." And I said, "Well, I got material for days for that, so that's not going to be a problem." So as I introduce myself, might as well do it in pictures, right? Let's pause. That's me sitting on my dad's lap. And we're just going to pause and thank the 70s and early 80s for fashion. For if people remember that wall of rocks by a fireplace that every house had in the 70s. My parents did not seem to care that I had Kool-Aid stains on my cheeks. And I think this was like a formal Christmas picture. And so there was a lot going on there. I do give my parents credit, though, because I think the Adidas I were wearing is like, they're so retro, they're back. And so my parents had a lot of forethought with fashion as they were hooking me up. So, but in all sincerity, this is my family. This is how I grew up. Small town Nebraska on a farm for several years, and then moving over to Iowa. I have a brother and sister, and my dad was a teacher. And this is where I got to learn how to interact with folks, how to interact with kids, how to be an influence and a member of the community to make the community better. And so I had a role model being able to grow up, which was fantastic. So I do thank them, even though they had questionable choices in terms of fashion, but it was great. This is my family today. I'm really proud of who they are. To my right is my oldest, Olivia. Olivia just graduated from Lewis University with her nursing degree, is headed back on Friday to start her master's program. My youngest is to my left, Reese. We actually take Reese on Saturday up to St. Cloud State, drop her off for freshman year. She wants to be a speech pathologist. All my speech pathologists in the room, yes. And what Danielle and I, my wife Danielle on the end, what we're most proud of is that both girls are going into the service industry. They want to help people. And that makes us really proud because both of them, the sky's the limit. And they both chose to get into professions to help people. And that really makes us proud. And so this is a little bit about who we are. And we're really excited for the girls and their future and really proud of what they do. So as I referenced earlier, having the opportunity to go to all the buildings this spring, there were over 250 staff members that joined me in those early mornings when you didn't have to. And I want to say thank you to those that came, but to all of you. The transition and welcome that I've had in this community, in this organization, has been second to none. It has made this transition to be smooth. It's probably a little early, but it's like home already. I see faces. I see smiling faces every single day welcoming me here, and I can feel the support. I can feel that we're on the verge of doing some great things, and I feel it from you. And so that has been fantastic. So thank you to all of you. But if those of you that came, remember, I did want to introduce myself during the spring. I wanted to meet you, but I had 3 questions that I wanted to learn about this district and this community. I wanted to know your challenges and your obstacles, but I also wanted to know what was good about Y115 in Yorkville. And the last question was, why do you stay? Why do you stay and work here? We all have opportunities to go places, and I wanted to know, what could we continue to do well to keep high-quality folks with our kids? And there were pages and pages of responses, and I read through every single one of them and was able to pull out some themes. So as we talk about our strengths, these 4 large themes they just resonated and they were loud. So many of you put your colleagues down as a strength. The comments in the paper, in those forums and papers, were the professionalism for which my colleague does their work, the relationships that I get to have with my colleagues. My colleagues pick me up when I'm down. Those were the types of comments that came through in those forums, those Google forms. And I talked to a lot of buildings about, if you can get people that have your back and they support you in your work, man, that's a place I want to be. The other large theme that came out were students. You comment on how happy you were to have your students every day in and out of your classroom every year, the ability to create relationships with your students, what they brought to you, and that was something that spoke loudly. You commented on the community and the support that the community has for this organization. And not only just the organization, but many of you said the support for me as a professional. And let me tell you, that does not happen everywhere. I've been in other districts, and the level of support that this community shows our organization is something that I've never really experienced. But you guys notice it, and you put it down. And then the last one, which I think goes without saying, is the pride that you all have in your role, in your school, in this district. When you can have a collection of folks who have great pride in what they do and where they're from, we can get a lot of work done, and we can get it done in a great way. And so, as I was looking through these strengths, if some of you remember, part of the reason why I asked that, though, is how often as professionals, because we're in the grind, we're in the whirlwind of the day-to-day with our kids and the things that we do we pause and just reflect on why we do what we do? How many times do we just sit for a second and say, what's my why? What's the positive things? We don't. We're problem solvers. It was very evident to me through these strengths where our why resonates in Y115. And it's very impressive. And I hope throughout the course of the year, you do take some time just to pause and think about it, because it's really refreshing and reflective to think about the why. Now, we have challenges. Every organization does. And I've never been a part of a great team or a great organization that hasn't gone through challenges together, that hasn't dealt with adversity. And the great teams and the great organizations, they meet those challenges and they work through them together, and they don't become challenges anymore. But we have some significant challenges. We have some adversity in front of us. When you look at the 3 kind of themes that came from you, consistency was one. Consistency of communication. Consistency on follow-through. Are we doing what we say we're going to do? Consistency with leadership. Those are all things that you were telling me. And when you don't have that consistency, it automatically falls into number 2, and that's trust. I heard from you. There's been a broken relationship. Trust has been eroded a little bit. We need to be able to rebuild that trust, rebuild those relationships. And quite frankly, if we don't do that, the rest of the work isn't going to happen. And so those 2, they didn't get broken overnight. They didn't become challenges overnight. And we're not going to fix them overnight. In order to rebuild relationships, gain trust, have that consistency, it's one interaction at a time. It's one day at a time. There are no shortcuts to building trust. And so we have to be committed with one another to make sure that we're building that. And then the last one, I don't think I even set one foot into the boardroom in February before I had somebody talk to me about space. Like, I didn't even get a chance to say hi to anybody. Somebody caught me right outside the door and said, "What are you going to do about our facilities?" And it kind of took a step back. I get it. Part of the reason I want to go to the building is I wanted to see it. It's so in our face right now, right? The tight space. We don't have the spaces that we need to do our jobs. Kids are crunched. Like, I get it and I understand it. This, too, is not something that happened overnight. And so we're going to need to work together to fix this, but it's not going to be overnight. But I think the big takeaway here with these challenges is that these are really opportunities for us to work together. They're opportunities for us to do great things. Because when we can turn those challenges into opportunities and take those away, man, we're going to be humming on all cylinders. And I'm excited for that. It's going to be hard work, but I'm really excited about that. So as I read those themes and kind of going through this, I asked myself, what does that mean for us? What does that mean for us as Foxes, as a district? And where are we headed? What's the vision we all need to be moving forward? And so I really got to thinking about Jim Collins, and some of you may know Jim Collins from a book, Good to Great. But Jim Collins, in his book, Great by Choice, talked about the race to the center of the South Pole. And there were two explorers, Amundsen, who was from Norway, and Scott, who was from Great Britain. They were tasked with being the first to get to the center of the South Pole. They had two different approaches to winning that race. Amundsen brought his team down. He had sled dogs, sleds. He brought his team, and they spent time planning, preparing. They would go out and put markers down where they may need to store food and other provisions. And there was an approach to be steady. Amundsen worked with his team, but he committed to his team that no matter what happened, we were going to travel 20 miles a day. It didn't matter if it was a balmy 0 with sun out, down in Antarctica, where they might feel they wanted to go further. And it also didn't matter if it was negative 20 and a blizzard out. They were going to go 20 miles a day. Scott, on the other hand, brought down horses, brought down motorized carts. He wanted to get there as fast as he possibly could. And his approach was that on those good days, those sunny days, they were going to go 50, 60 miles. And then on the bad days, they were going to stay in their camp and ride that weather out. And I think there's a challenge to that because the number of good days versus bad days may not be equal. And so we have two different approaches to get to the same goal. Amundsen's team won. Probably got that from the slide. But not only did Amundsen win, his whole team made it back to the boat and back to Norway. Scott's team all perished. Didn't make it back, none of them. Why is that? Well, here's what Scott didn't think about. He didn't think about horses and the terrain in Antarctica. The horses died in the first 2 days because they broke their legs. They couldn't handle the terrain. Scott didn't think about planning and bringing a guy on his team that knew how to fix the motorized carts. The carts broke down in the first 3 days. Nobody to fix them. Now he doesn't have enough sled dogs to take the entire team. He didn't plan. He didn't think. He was in a hurry. Amundsen planned. He not only planned, but he thought about his team. He knew that going more than 20 miles a day is going to put a strain on his team, physically and mentally, as well as his dogs. So he cared enough about his team on those good days to say, no, we're going to go 20 miles and we're going to rest. We're going to stay focused. But he also had the self-discipline to say, we're going 20 miles when it's not good weather. So what does that mean for us? What does that look like on our 20-mile march? We have a lot of things that we want to get fixed real quick. Right? We want to fix those challenges and those problems now. We want to automatically have great relationships. We want to see groundbreaking for facilities. But our approach is not going to be Scott's. We need to make sure that we're planning We're collaborating. We're working together. We're taking care of each other on the journey so that when those good days are going, we're not pushing too hard. But when the bad days are there, we're going to have enough self-discipline with each other to continue to push forward. So as we think about our total distance, where are we going in the next 3 to 5 years? What's our middle of the South Pole? And how do we get there? So as we think about kind of the work we have to do in the next 3 to 5 years to make sure that we get that center, we got 3 big buckets that we're going to be focusing our work on. Number 1 is we're going to be building a culture of support with high expectation. We're going to support each other on the journey, but we're going to have the discipline to hold each other accountable to make sure that we're making that work and every day going 20 miles. We're going to build and implement a guaranteed viable curriculum that works for each student. Not some students, each student. And then we are going to build 21st century facilities. This is our measure, our total measure distance of where we're going for that center of that South Pole. And you're going to hear this phrase from me probably so much you're going to dream about it and be very tired of me saying it. But as we think about that march and we think about Amundsen, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Scott thought there were shortcuts, and he didn't get there. We don't want to backtrack. We don't want to make mistakes. So if we're on our steady 20-mile march, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. But what does that mean for us this year? What is our 20-mile march this year in 24-25? What's the work we need to put in today to make sure that every year we're marching to where we want to go? So as we think about support with high expectations, we are committed to working with you on clear and consistent communication. People need to know. And that's our commitment to you, is we need to be clear, we need to be consistent with our communication with everybody. We need to recognize folks. We have amazing professionals in this gym, amazing professionals. And we need to make sure you know it. And then lastly, we talk about culture. We talk about that support. But oftentimes culture is just kind of a buzzword and it's just supposed to be there. How do we know? How do we know what our culture is? And so this year, each member here in the gym will be working in their buildings, in their departments, and we're actually going to take a culture survey. We're going to find out what the culture is in each building, each department, and in our district. And not only are we going to do that, but we're going to see the data. We're going to actually be able to see what it is. And then be able to work at action plans and things that we need to do to get better to make sure the culture is what it needs to be for us to grow. And we're going to work with a partner, a company called HumanX, that will help facilitate. We're going to have experts working with us because culture is going to be the basis of the work that we do. It comes back to that trust, that consistency. But we're not going to guess. We're not going to say, yeah, I think our culture's pretty good. We're going to know. And we're all going to work together to be able to build the action plans to make sure we're getting where we need to go. When we talk about a guaranteed and viable curriculum, the great news is we're not changing course. We're going to stay focused on what we've been focused on in terms around our supports for SIP planning, our learning and grading plan, and assessment and data. But the goal and the work here is to kind of continue to take those arrows and get them closer together. We need to get more alignment. Nothing would say like to get off track with teaching and learning is having you take lefts and rights. We'll never get to the center of the South Pole if we keep changing the path for you with teaching and learning. We've got to stay on the course, and we need you. And then our 21st century facilities. There's going to be a lot of work done this year on that, but a lot of it's going to be behind the scenes. Our architect is collecting data right now in all of our buildings. We're going to be putting together project plans and engagement plans with everybody. This is going to be a huge responsibility for all of us. And when we think about facilities, This is going to be key. We can't move too slow with facilities. If we move too slow, we're in trouble. We won't have buildings that align to the needs of our students. We won't have spaces for you all to do the professional work that you do, and we need those spaces. The lifeline of a district is recruiting and retaining high-quality staff. High-quality staff don't want to be in buildings that don't support them. And then there's going to be a continued level of frustration. But if you flip it and we go too fast, we're not going to be able to think about what we need to support students. We won't have those plans. We won't be able to really think about the spaces that all of you need when we think about our buildings. And if we go too fast, we're opening the door for some huge mistakes when we talk about our buildings. Also, if we're moving too fast, we're not going to get the proper input from all of you, our community, on what those buildings might look like, what they should look like, what do we want. And if we don't take the time to get the input from you all, we're going to fail. And guess what? We might fix a small problem if we move too fast, but then we just created 3 other issues, and we're still going to be frustrated. And so as we think about our facilities, when we get it right, and I say when we get it right, because it's not a choice of if we get it right, it's when we get it right, we are going to have a state-of-the-art district. Our spaces are going to align to our teaching and learning. We're going to have staff that takes great pride in their buildings. I won't be hearing how the space is hindering you. We're going to see people feeling pride because we have professional spaces that we're going to. Our kids have the proper spaces they need. And man, will we be able to continue to recruit and retain high-quality staff because of the district that we have. But this is the work. These are all the things that we need to do. And it's going to take all of us to do this work. Because we're all going to make decisions that impact this community for the next 25 years, which is huge. Remember, there aren't going to be shortcuts to this. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. We're going to continue to do our 20 miles each and every day to get the work done that we need for you, for our kids, and for our community. So as I think about the year, as I think about our vision, where we're headed in the next 3 to 5 years, the compass is a great symbol. It's a symbol to have the discipline that we need when the days are tough. It's also the symbol to remember we need to take care of each other on our journey. Everybody needs to get to the center of the South Pole and back. And taking care of each other is going to be really important. You might have seen on your way in, I broke the bank and bought some really, really expensive compasses that are in the back when you head out. Just kidding, they're not really expensive. I don't even know if they work. But to me, that's a visual representation of our journey together. As I look across this room, the level of excitement, the humility that I feel that you're allowing me to be a part of this journey with you, there's a feeling that I have as I engage with you all that we are on the cusp of doing something amazing in this district. And I cannot wait to get started with you all. I absolutely cannot get started and get rolling. And so when you leave, because I know YEA members will stay for their portion, but when you leave the gym, please take a compass. And I want to see that compass by your computer, by your workstation, as just a little visual reminder of the journey we're on and the work that we need to do together. And with that, I want to thank you. I wish all of you the absolute best of luck. I cannot wait to be in your buildings. I cannot wait to get started. I think we are going to have a phenomenal 24-25 school year. Thank you. So non-YEA members, certainly have a great day. YEA members, I know you're staying, so thank you, everybody.